So here is my venture. My name is Kenny Dana, and this is GuideLine. So here's the problem we have a student here named Mason, and he wishes he knew more professionals in his respective field, right, for his career. He says it would be nice to hear from someone who was once in my shoes as a university student. So this is a student who's trying to start his career as an undergrad, going to the industry. Here's a solution. So the solution would be a platform for students and even alumni partnered by their respective university or college. The platform would offer new opportunities, which would be made possible by pre-existing university relationships and connections, essentially by their pre-existing networks of people. And then additionally, it would offer opportunities for the current generation of professionals to help them guide the next generation of people that'd be in the field. So here's a little competitive analysis of the current platforms that are at ASU specifically. So first we have the I Am Mentor program. Essentially, this is a peer-to-peer mentorship program. And on campus, it's open to all students, and it's free for all students, but it lacks the connection for students and career professionals. And here's a quote given by one of the peer mentors, and they say, "Well, I would say I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of industry professionals, but I wouldn't say it's directly through peer mentoring, right? So it lacks that direct focus that my platform would aim to have." And then we have the ASU Graduate College Mentor Program, uh, and it's not open to all students. It's largely only just graduate students um, and professors. They work together on their research, but it is free for them. And then it does help them a little bit by connecting them with different professors that relate to their research and their interests. And then there's my platform. It would aim to essentially do all three of these things, be free for the students, be open to all students, and then help connect them with people in the industry. And then here's a revenue model. And so we have a quote by Dwayne, who is a senior project manager at Dibble. And he says, "Well, I love the idea. It's a good idea for a business, but how are you going to monetize this? How are you going to make a profit?" And this is a good question because we're free for the career professionals that would help the students, and then we're free for the students themselves. So how are we going to fund this? And so the answer is are the universities or the colleges themselves. So they would be incentivized essentially to improve their statistics and just to help their students to have an interest in their students and maintain like a good program for them. But universities or colleges, they like to boast about their statistics about being number one in this. For ASU, it's innovation, and then it's also employability. So we can definitely help them there with their employability and also just their student retention rates. Um, and yeah, and this is quite common to see in in ASU where they essentially they pay for a service or a software each term, and we'll see that right here. Oh, actually, wait. So yeah, so they would pay for the service for the software, and then since it's an ongoing uh, service, then it would be a subscription-based revenue cycle, revenue model. And so here's like the market, and like I said, we would want to start off in just one college of the ASU. So that would look like Ira A. Fulton School of Engineering, right? That's one college in ASU. So we could start off in engineering, and then maybe if we are successful in that, then we could say, okay, maybe we can spread out and talk with the ASU about spreading out to new colleges around the university. Um, and then maybe if it's successful in ASU, we could go out to different universities within Arizona. Say, hey, it's been successful here. Maybe it could be successful in your school. We could help you out. Um, And then maybe, best case scenario is successful throughout different schools. And then we can branch out between different states and between different places. And, eventually maybe become nationwide. That'd be the best case scenario, right? Uh, and then this would be like an ideal, like a little initial lineup for our team. So we would have like a founder. That's me right there. Of course, I'd be leading the design decisions. And then we would have the software engineer um, who would develop the website, maintain that platform. And then we have our service relations manager, um, or maybe even a team that would manage our relationships between different universities and different schools and maintain those contracts, um, make sure that they're updated and everything. And then we would also want a marketing manager. So we would obviously have the platform uh, for the schools, for the universities, but then we would need to get those platforms out to the students, make sure that they know that they're there, that they can use them. That would be their job. And then, so with this, we would need some money up front. I estimated about $50,000, a couple $1,000 just for the website alone. And then we would need to sustain our team, sustain our business until we get that contract going. Um, and so these contracts, they can take months at a time to develop and to uh, just to make because they're between us and our university, which is a giant network and giant institution. So it's going to take a long time. And so we need something to sustain us at the beginning. Hopefully, once we get that money going in from the university, then it can be self-sustaining. Um, but then once we, you know, get that going, we can prove to the university that, hey, our product, they help your students and your students want our product, most importantly. And then maybe we could do, surveys and then just on-campus advertisements or just on-campus events to get that going. And in closing, we have our student here and they're celebrating. They're saying, you know what, I could graduate knowing more people, having more people in my corner, and then having more opportunities awaiting me in the future. So yeah, that's GuideLine, my venture. Thank you so much. Stop the video.